So, I see that many of you have registered for the Karakam class, which is great, which will be helpful to understand which vibhaktis are used. It is going to be basically study about the roles of various words, nouns in a sentence. Like we talked about kartru, karma, right? Karana, that is subject, object, instrument, and so on. But a little more in detail. And in what context, which vibhakti has to be used, which will be helpful, which will supplement your knowledge, what you are studying here. Now, as far as the vibhaktis are concerned, it should be simple to use, understand. So we here on this page there is a list of some few nouns here. As we know, each noun in Sanskritam it has a base word. What is a noun? Noun which is in Sanskritam called Namapadam. Namapadam is the final form which can be used in the language. For example, when we say Balakasya Kandukaha, so in this case Balakasya is a Namapadam, Kandukaha is a Namapadam, right? Balakasya Kandukaha or Balikayaha Pustakam, so Balikayaha is a Namapadam. Athva, other example, Kandukena Kridati, Kandukena is a Namapadam. So all these, the forms, Kandukena, Kandukasya, Balakasya, Balikayaha, these are all Namapadam. So they could be in any Vachanam, any Vibhakti, and any Lingam. So they are all Namapadam. But each Namapadam in the Sanskrita Vyakaranam, grammar, now coming to grammar, now that is the language we talk about. In the language, there is no concept of base word, right? And the pratyaya, pratyaya and all those. Those are all grammatical framework. A framework has been established that is called grammar. So then in the Sanskrit grammar, this pratipadikam or base word is there for every namapadam. So be it Kandukaha, Kandukena, Kandukasya, Kandukaha, etc. So all these, it could be in any Vachanam, etc. But the base word for that is Kanduka, right? Kanduka. And the base word is called Pratipadikam in Sanskritam. Yeah. What exactly means Pratipadikam, we'll discuss that some other time, probably during the Karakam class if you're attending. But anyway, the base word is called Pratipadikam. Now that Pratipadikam, which is given here, like Pratipadikam is identified by what is its identity, Pratipadikam, or what is its characters. It's characterized by in what sound it is ending. For example, if you say Rama, here Rama is given here. Rama is the Pratipadikam or the base word for the noun forms of Rama. So if you look at the noun forms here, so look at all this Rama, 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 etc. So these are all the nouns actually, Namapadani. These are different forms of this base word Rama. So what are the characters here? Oh, it it ends in the sound Rama, right? And then it also has a lingam. The base word itself has a lingam embedded in it. It is purlingam, but it has no vachanam. For vachanam we have to come to, it has no vibhakti and vachanam. Now now we have to come to this vibhakti table for the vachanam and the vibhakti. So in the prathama vibhakti, ekavachana, dvivachana, bahuvachana, etc., it takes these different forms. So note that, so these are called namapadam, or forms of namapadam, but this is called pratipadikam. So keep that in mind, it will help to understand the grammar better. We also looked at
excuse me, sir. How I don't know how to go there, like from starting, like this page.
Yeah, this page, you go to this website, Bhasha Bodha blogspot.com. If you don't have this link, I'll send it to you in the email. Bhasha Bodha.
I'll write down.
.blogspot.com. If you go there, it will look like this. This is the home page. This is the home page. On that page, on the top you will see the grammar link here. Grammar tab. If you go to grammar tab, so you will come to this page.
And it's a free download?
Yeah, the website is free. So all these are free. So you can. So also we talked about a little bit about Kriyapada. So I'm just repeating this. If you missed some classes. So we talked about the Kriyapada or the verbs. So each verb, like for example, we looked at where is this? We looked at the Kriyapada forms, like for example this, right? Vartamana Kala forms. Pathati, Ekavachana, Dvivachana, Bahuvachana, right? Pathati, Pathataha, Pathanti, Prathama Purusha, Madhyama Purusha, Uttama Purusha. So, Neela Bhagini, when is the Uttama Purusha forms are used of Uttama Purusha forms of verbs or Kriyapada? When are they used?
In the present tense.
No, Uttama Purusha. Present tense is always a present tense one.
No, Uttama Purusha is when I'm addressing myself.
Yeah.
Is that what I'm...
that means the action.
Prathama Vibhakti. In the present tense.
So Uttama Purusha is used when the Kriya or the action is done by
me.
That means when the Karta or Kartru or the subject is the word Aham. The word is important. Aham is the Kartru Padam in the sentence for the Kriya, then the Uttama Purusha form is used. And the Avam is the
when there are two people, two of me. That's when I have to use the Avam, Patavaha.
This form.
Present Dvivachanam. And Vayam, that's where many of me. Patamaha.
Means many of us. So,
many of us. In the present tense. Bahuvachanam.
Means when the word is Vayam, then you use Patamaha. Or the Uttama Purusha form of the Kriyapadam. Similarly, when the word is Tvam, word is important. Tvam means you. But there could be other words which mean tvam, like bhavan. In that case, we don't use the Madhyama Purusha form. The word is important. The tvam has to be the Kartrupadam, or at least the implied Kartrupadam. Then in that case, Madhyama Purusha form of Kriyapadam is used. It should be in the Ekavachana it should be Tvam, in Dvivachana it should be Yuvam, Bahuvachana it should be Yuyam. Okay. So in these two cases, Aham, if the word is Aham, Tvam, Madhyam, Uttam Purusha, Madhyam Purusha are used like this. And for all other words, if they are the Kartrupadam, then the Prathama Purusha forms of Kriyapadam is used. For example, here Patati, Patataha, Patanti. This is one example of Kriyapadam. So each Kriyapadam, these are all forms of Kriyapadam. Each Kriyapadam could be having a Vachanam or a Purusha and also Kala. It should be. So this is characterized, the Kriyapadam is characterized by Purusha, Vachana and Kala. It has no lingam. In Sanskritam, Kriyapadam, they don't have lingam. Whether it is Balaka, Ramaha Patati, Sita Patati, everything is same. Patati form only. So similar to a Namapadam has a base word called Pratipadikam. Each Kriyapadam in Sanskritam has a base word called Dhatu. Dhatu. Dhatuhu, pullinga word. So the base word, or the root, verb root, in English it's called verb root. Each verb in Sanskritam, each verb has these forms, right? Patati, patata, etc. But it has a base word, root word, called Dhatuhu. This is not important right now, but you might hear somewhere listening what is Dhatu. So just keep in mind Dhatu, Pratipadikam. Dhatu is the base word for the Kriyapadam and the Pratipadikam is the base word for Namapadam. So we saw the example for the, what is the Pratipadikam of Ramena? It is Rama. What is the Pratipadikam of Ramasya? It is Rama. What is Pratipadikam of Ramaha? It is Rama. So base word is only one for that entire Vibhakti table. Similarly, for the Kriyapada side, the Kriyapada could be in any Purusha, any Vachana or any Kala. Vartamana Kala, Bhuta Kala, Bhavishyat Kala, etc. But it has one root word, which is called Dhatu. In this example, for Patati, the root or Dhatu is Patha. Sometimes you can write it with the Vyanjanam, Pat. Okay. With that quick recap, we'll move forward. We also saw Akarmaka Kriyapada and Sakarmaka Kriyapada. Okay. Shubhashri Bhagini, what is the difference? Akarmaka, Sakarmaka Kriyapada.
Yeah, Sakarmaka is a transitive. That means it answers the question what. So I'm reading something. I'm reading what? I'm reading a book. Whereas Akarmaka is intransitive. So I'm running. You can't ask I'm running what. So if it takes a direct object, then it is Sakarmaka. If it doesn't, it's Akarmaka. Transitive and intransitive.
Yes.
Is that okay, sir?
Yes, perfect. Okay. Dhanyavada. So we'll proceed forward. Any question before?
I think you also said that a few exceptions, right? Gachati and agachati, which in English, I think we shouldn't, connect it to English. I think we should just learn it as it is because you said that it takes a direct object, no? In English it doesn't.
Right. Gachati, so Gachati,
agachati.
Gachati, agachati.
So I think we have to remember those things also and not directly translate.
So there is another kriyapadam, prapnoti, which you might have come across. Shaknoti, like that. Shaknoti, there is a kriyapadam called prapnoti. Sujata Bhagini, namaskara.
Namaste, Mahodaya.
What is the example one vakyam rachayatu? Prapnoti, using prapnoti.
Aham आपणे फलं प्राप्नोमि.
Aham apane
फलं प्राप्नोमि.
Apane right now not important, so just leave it. So let's say aham phalam
प्राप्नोमि.
Aham phalam prapnomi. So here the
pra उपसर्ग अस्ति, आप धातु अस्ति.
So here this is Uttama Purusha. This sentence.
Ekavachana.
She is forming like Patami. This is Uttama Purusha Ekavachana Prapnomi. So Prapnomi, meaning of Prapnomi is?
I get.
I get what? Question comes what?
Phalam.
I get or I obtain. Phalam means this is in which vibhakti now? Phalam
is Dvitiya vibhakti.
Dvitiya, because now Prapnomi is Sakarmaka. We're asking obtain. Aham is Prathama vibhakti. Ekavachanam. Aham Prapnomi. I obtain. Kim Prapnomi?
Phalam Prapnomi.
So you get the question. So I'm taking this example just to illustrate the Gacchami also. Gacchami also you should consider, think.
Yes.
Something like Prapnomi, obtain. So once you Gacchami, once you go, what are you getting? What are you obtaining? What are you reaching? So in that way you should think. So that comes in the Dvitiya Vibhakti, what you are reaching after the Gamana Kriya. Gacchami, aham pathashalam gacchami, aham devalayam gacchami.
Gruham gacchami.
Gruham gacchami, athva gruham agacchami. So once you do that kriya, gamana kriya, or going, action of going, what are you trying to reach, or what are you reaching? So that comes in the karma padam, as a karma padam, which is Dvitiya Vibhakti. So that becomes a sakarmaka kriyapadam. Same thing we talked about milati also. I think there was a question in the quiz on Telegram. Milati, some of you got right, some of you didn't. Milati, milati. Pune, can you give some example with milati?
Dhanyavadah Mahodaya.
Dhanyavadah. Pune, milati.
Aham mama sakhi milami. Mama sakhi milami. Can I say that?
Yeah, it is partially correct. This is milami. Again, note that we are trying to use milami. Is it sakarmaka or akarmaka?
That is sakarmaka, sir.
No, it is not sakarmaka in Sanskritam. So note that this is, yeah. So this is used incorrectly in Sanskritam by many times. Like I have heard that. So just be careful on that. Pay attention that milati, milami, miladhatu is a akarmaka. So how is it used, Rajul Mahoday? So we have seen the examples before.
Yeah, so aham mitrena milami.
So we are using the
Vibhakti.
Tritiya, correct. Mitrena saha milami. Saha is optional, but you can just to make it clear, you can use saha. So I am meeting with. So you can think in Sanskrit, in English like that. I am meeting with, not meeting. I am meeting my friend. In English it may be fine, but in Sanskritam, that with is important. Aham mitrena saha milami. Aham sakhya saha milami. Okay, Pune?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Similarly, there are few other things which may be confusing, like we talked about kridati and khelati. These ones also. So if you think in English, then it will be confusing. That is why thinking in Sanskrit is important.
Sir, and I can because both in English and my language there is not such concept of cases. So it takes for me it takes a lot of time to understand this. Now I realize that I have not yet even begin to understand.
Yeah, that's fine. Case means you say vibhakti is not there, like vibhakti.
No, sir, there is no vibhakti in my language, and neither in English, and neither in any language that I learned before. It is vibhakti are there for Hindi, and I also have challenge to understand that in Hindi also.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So note that. 1 second. Let me give a minute. Sorry. So where is that? Here on this. So there is not that there is no vibhakti or a suffix in English, but you can think like a.
The difference is in English and also in my language. The suffixes are coming or prefixes are coming with verb. They are associated with verb, but they are. They are. But or they come independently. But in Hindi, they are just coming with the subjects or objects,
Correct.
not associated with verbs. That is the difference.
Yes. Yeah, that is the difference. So, and
it's a different logic.
Yes, correct. So, for example, if you just give a small one, we'll take one simple sentence. Take this same only, like a boy, which was there before, like a boy reads a book in school. So we are saying that here there is no vibhakti concept, right, in English. But if same thing, if we or let's say what which you already studied, a boy eats what? We'll use eat, we already seen, let's say drinks. Boy drinks water with
Chashaka.
With a straw.
Straw. Okay. Straw. We'll find a word for straw. So how do we? So here, if we translate this into Sanskritam, so boy, what is boy? Balakah, Balaha or Balakah, drinks water.
Pibati.
Jalam
Jalam pibati.
pibati. Now with straw is there. Let's say with straw, nalika, let's say nalika. There could be other words like choshaka, etc. But let's keep it simple. So if we use nalika, we want to use tritiya bhakti here. So what do we say? Tritiya nalika.
Nalikaya.
Nalikaya. Nalikaya. Jalam drinks.
Pibati.
Pibati. Now see how this is transforming here. In Sanskritam, Balaka, and there is a vibhakti. Because of the Prathama vibhakti, we see the Visarga here. That means that Visarga is becoming part of this subject, one word. And similarly, Jalam is here water. Right? And this ma, we are adding ma to the base word to make it the part of the word. Now, so vibhakti, that suffix becoming part of the word. Similarly here, here it is more evident here, because here is saying nalika is the base word, and we are adding the ya here, nalika ya, and that becomes with straw. So in English there are two words to indicate nalika ya, but in Sanskritam there is only one word. Here it is with and straw together means using that straw, right? Using that straw as an instrument. But here nalikaya is a single word. So this contains both with and straw. So this with part is actually coming as a suffix here to the base word straw, nalika, and that is becoming one word here, correct? So that is the difference here. So in English, you can think they are separate words, and this is whatever you call it, like a phrase or a predicate or something in Sanskrit, in English term.
Prepositions.
Yeah, these are prepositions. So by adding the preposition, they remain as separate words, right? Separate words. They are not becoming part of that word. But in Sanskritam, when that suffix which represents the preposition kind of, when that is added, then it becomes single word. It doesn't become remain as two words. So this is the difference here. So the same thing, we like when we say a boy drinks water with straw in house or at home. So at home, at and home. So these are two words remain in Sanskrit, in English. But when it comes to Sanskritam, they become one word, single word. So here also in English, you can actually shuffle this with straw and move this with straw together in different places, right? In English, so you can say with straw, boy drinks water. Boy drinks with straw water, which may not make much sense, but generally you can move that to an appropriate place. It doesn't have to be at the end. Similarly, in Sanskritam, because that with is part of this nalikaya, that preposition, and it becomes single word, so it looks like we can move this word, single word, to a different place, shuffle this, and still it means the same thing, because this with part, preposition part, is also part of the single word. So you can say nalikaya balakah jalam pibati, balakah nalikaya jalam pibati, balakah jalam pibati nalikaya. So that can be shuffled easily, but still we get the meaning out of it, right? Because nalikaya has already embedded this with in it. So I think it's not very difficult to understand. If you think like that, that's it. From my perspective, so if you think that preposition is already included, embedded in the vibhakti, it is the same thing. To this page number 59. Let's check. I have a physical book here. Let's see. Page 1 to 3. Yeah, this one, the same table in the book. If you go to page 1 to 3. Type here. No, this page is different. 113. Yeah. So this the same example here given with the English also. Now here I think you can understand. Boy gives an author's book, one bag, book. So with hand, you see this highlight bolded here, with hand. So this is one part with the preposition, which is coming as one word here, Hastena. Similarly, to friend, coming as Mitraya. Like from a bag, coming as Yutat. Similarly, we have Lekhakasya, authors, coming as, or of author, belonging to author, coming as like Shashti Bhakti. In library, this both in and library coming as one word here, Granthalaya. Can correlate to that. Where were we? So after Shighram Mandam Uchchaishanaihi, I think we also read Katham. Katham is how. Ashva Katham Dhavati, Ashva Shighram Dhavati. Note that this Shighram Mandam Uchchaishanaihi, what are they? They are adverbs.
Havyaya.
But in the sentence, there are coming as adverbs, which is describing how the kriya, how the action is happening. It is describing the kriya padam. So in Sanskritam, adverb is called kriya visheshanam. Adjective is called visheshanam. Adjective, which is describing the noun, which is called visheshanam. Like Sundaraha Balakaha, where Sundaraha is Visheshanam, adjective to Balaka. But here it is Kriya Visheshanam, adverb, describing the Kriya Padam. Shighram Dhavati, it is moving fast, running fast. So that is fast is adverb here. Shighram, Mandam, Uchchahi, Shanai. Okay, so now I'm skipping this for now. These in between, we'll do that later because we are just on the trail of this vibhaktis. Let's move on to the topic of other vibhaktis. We'll come back to this later. Chaturtha vibhakti. So we so far looked at Prathama, Dvitiya vibhakti, one example. Using the Dvitiya Bhakti word, can you give me one example, somebody?
Vayam.
Aham gacchami.
Aham kim?
Griham gacchami.
Aham graham gacchami. Graham is Dvitiya Vibhakti. Now, Tritiya Vibhakti example we already saw. Nalikaya jalam pibami. Shashti Vibhakti example.
Balakasya pustakam.
Balakasya pustakam. Like that. Now, Chaturthi Bhakti, we'll see that. So, Chaturthi Bhakti is used when something is being given to somebody. Chaturthi Bhakti. Udaharanam asti atra. So, what is the Udaharanam? Sanskrit example. Udaharanam is example here. Okay. Neela Bhagini patatu. Vakyam.
महोदय धनिकः कस्मै धनं ददाति धनिकः पुत्राय धनं ददाति. To whom does the rich give money? The rich gives money to the son.
Yeah. So
The kasmai for who is the question.
Yes.
And the answer is putraya, for the son, to the son.
So, so question word we looked at, like, here the question words are there, right? Kaha, kim, kena, kasya. These words are the question words. Question we have to ask in a sentence to get the answer. For example, so all these questions, most of them, the question goes on the kriya padam, right? So we have the kriya padam, for example, pathati. Pathati is the kriya padam. This is the kriya is the heart in a vakyam. So you want to convey something to somebody, you are conveying about some kriya. More, that is the assumption in Sanskrit Vyakaranam. Even when you want to say something is there, that is there is a kriya. Existence is a kriya. Or at least technically it is a kriya padam. There is no movement or nothing is happening. It is just static, standing there. Still it is asti is a kriya padam. So that is the heart or the very important, most important part in a vacuum sentence. So we start from there as a base. So pathati in this example. So when we say pathati, the question arises kaha pathati, right? That is the first question. Usually comes kaha pathati. Now if it is pathami, then the answer is easy, because in Uttama Purusha, Pathami indicates it is Uttama Purusha. Pathami, also you can ask Kaha Pathami, obviously it is Aham Pathami, because Pathami itself is Aham. Similarly, Pathasi, that means Tvam Pathasi. But it is Pathati, question comes Kaha Pathati. So Kaha is the question word. Kaha Pathati, who is reading. Then we get the answer, let's say, Kaha Mata Pathati. Mata. Then Kim is the next question you can ask. Kim Pathati. Next question ask. Kim Pathati. Mata Kim Pathati. What could be the answer?
Mata Pustakam Pathati. Pustakam.
Any other word you can use other than Pustakam?
Ramayana.
Mata Sanskritam. Ramayanam.
Ramayanam, Sanskritam, Lekhanam, Patram, anything. Pathati. Kavyam, Gadyam, Padyam, Shlokam, Bhashatam, Grantham, anything. So you can put that. So that Kim is the word. So note that this Kaha is in the Prathama Bhakti, Kim is in the Dvitiya Bhakti. Similarly, Kena Mute. Kena could be the answer. Sorry, the question. Kena on the Kriyapadam. So patati, kena patati.
Upanetrena?
Yeah, possible. Upanetrena patati or upanetrena pashyati. If there is a pashyati is better. Kena patati. Kena pashyati. Upanetrena pashyati. Tritiya. So these kenas, again the Upanetrena, because that is the upakaranam or instrument, we are using that in the Tritiya Bhakti. The question is also in the Tritiya, Kena. Kena. Similarly, when we come to Chaturthi, Kasmai. Chaturthi form of Kaha is Kasmai. Means for whom. For whom. So now, for whom means Patati can be, yeah. Patati, on this also we can ask the question, Kasmai Patati means for whom? For whom she is reading. Okay. So the question answer could be Balakaya Putraya Patati. The Putra maybe going to sleep and she is trying to read a story. Mata Putraya Katham Patati. So that could be the answer. Right? So Dadati is one. Dadati is giving. Giving is one example where the Chaturthi Bhakti ending words can be used. Here most of the words are like this, but there could be other words, other Kriyapadas, wherein the Chaturthi Bhakti is possible. So here are some examples here. Dhanikaha kasmai dhanam dadati, dhanikaha putraya dhanam dadati. Okay. Then the next one. Next one, yeah.
Continue or somebody else?
Yeah, you can continue.
Okay. Ashokaha mitraya pustakam dadati. Rama kasmai shakkaram dadati.
Rama.
Rama kasmai shakkaram dadati. Rama Umayai shakkaram dadati.
So here
Rama kasmai, to whom sugar given.
So here these sentences are trying to illustrate or give some examples of Chaturthi Bhakti in different lingam. So in the first sentence, Dhanikaha kasmai dhanam dadati, Dhanikaha putraya dhanam dadati. No.
And this is the strilingam, so it becomes kasyai.
So putra is the pullinga, kasmai is also pullinga in that question word. Now mitra is, what is the lingam of mitra?
The pullingam.
No, Napunsaka.
Right?
Mitram.
Mitram. Yeah, Napunsakalingam.
Mitram, Napunsakalingam. So we are Chaturthi Bhakti form of that is also same, Mitraya, like Putraya, pullinga word. And similarly, we have Uma as a base word here, Strilinga. And Chaturthi Bhakti of that form of that Uma is Umayai. Umayai. Sharkaram, Sharkara, sugar, this is the Ditya, you know. So, what is the base again? What is the Kriyapadam here? Dadati, correct? So, who, Kaha, we are starting to ask the question words, Kaha Dadati or Ka Dadati in this case, Ka, Srilinga. If you know, you can use Ka. If you don't know, you can use Kim or you can use Kaha, whatever question. So the answer is, we know Rama, which is Srilinga. Rama is the Kartrupadam here. Rama Dadati. Kim Dadati?
Chakkaram. Dvitiya.
Sharkaram Dadati. Sharkara, it is Srilinga Padam. So it becomes Sharkaram Dadati. And then you can, now to whom we want to ask, to whom? So to whom, that question word also can be in different linga. But here, if you want to put a question word in pullinga, you can use kasmai. kasmai, or Napunsakalinga also is kasmai. But if you want to put that question word in Strilinga, you can use kasyai. Kasyai dadati. Kasyai umayai dadati. So these are the Chaturthi Bhakti forms of different words. You can refer to those the words here, the Vibhakti tables here, to know to find out the Chaturthi Vibhakti forms, or any Vibhakti form here, and put those Vibhakti forms accordingly. For example, if you want to use Guru Shabda, you are giving something to Guru. So here Gurave dadami, Gurave pustakam dadami. You can use this Gurave. Similarly, you can use other like Lata, Rama. We use Akaranta Uma Strilinga Shabda. So then you can come here and look up the table Ramayai. So similarly, you can form the other words which are ending in A. Rama, Lata, Uma. What else? We have Neela, Sujata, Sita, all your names. So Akaranta, Sita, Yai. Then Dirghikanta Nadi, like Nadi we have many, like Bhanumati, Saraswati, what else? Parvati, all those. Dirghika Ikaranta. So then you have Chaturthi Bhakti, like Nadyai, Parvatyai, Saraswatyai. So you can put that in the Chaturthi Bhakti form. Something is, if you want to use that in a sefer, mostly like when you are giving something, like Ashokaha Parvatyai pustakam dadati. Ashokaha if it is Durga, then what is the Chaturthi Bhakti of Durga? Ashoka. Durga, like Umayai, Durgayai.
Meenakshi, right?
Like Meenakshi Dirghai, like Nalini. So Nalini is given here. So if it is Dirghai, like Nadi, we have to remove that Dirghai from this and then add Yai. So from Nadi, remove Dirghai. So we get what? Just Nad.
Nad Yai.
Yai. So Nadyai. Similarly, Nalini, Meenakshi. So in Meenakshi also we have Kshi. From that Kshi, remove E. So we get just Ksha. And then you use Yai, add Chai. But the Strilinga Shabda is ending in A, then there is no need to remove anything. Just add Yai there. Like Uma, Umayai. Umayai. So here we have Nalinyai. Nalinyai patram preshayati. Suma. Then. So these examples, dadati, dadati, dadati. So these are giving. Apreshayati, sending. Suma Nalinyai patram preshayati. She is sending something for or to Nalini. Then, other than these words which are like giving, which means giving or sending, another example of giving is distributing is vitarati. Vitarati. Vitarati means distribution, distributing, like patrani vitarati. Patravahakaha patrani vitarati janebhyaha, for the people. I am using the Bahuvachana there, janebhyaha. But So those are the words you can think of. Now, other than those, sending, distributing, giving out something for somebody, there are other kriyapadas also wherein Chaturthi Vibhakti is used. For example, here, number 4. Pune, can you read this? Number 4. Are you there, Pune? Is there anyone? Subhash, begin.
Arakshaka Choraya Kupyati.
Choraya.
Choraya, sorry. Policeman frowns at the thief. I'll continue, sir.
Continue.
Durjanaha Mitraya Drukhyati. Is it?
Yeah.
The wicked cheats a friend. Nirdanaha Dhanikaya Asuyati. Poor envies rich.
Mahyam.
Yeah, Mahyam. Is it Mahyam, sir?
Yeah,
Mahyam Maduram Rochate. Sweet is dear to me. Devaya Namaha. Salutation to God.
So this is like packing so many things here in this sentence. So here Arakshakaha Choraya Kupyati. Kupyati is the kriyapadam. So you might already know the word kopa. Kopa is anger. Kopaha. So that in the kriyapada form it becomes kupyati. So you are getting angry at somebody. Getting angry at Arakshakaha Choraya Kupyati. Okay, using Kupyati, can make some other sentence. Anyone? Kajal Mother Kupyati. Some other sentence.
Aham Marjaraya Kupyami.
Aham Marjaraya Kupyami. Uttam. Correct. What does that mean? I
frown at the cat.
The cat. Uttam. So next one is Durjanaha Mitraya Drushyati. Drushyati also in the Namapada form you might have heard like Droha. Droha means cheating. If you want to use that in the Kriyapada form, verb form, present tense, Drushyati. So these Kupyati, Drushyati, and the next one is Asuyati. I feel envy about somebody. So you Asuyati. So in this case, in these words, when they are used, towards what you are getting angry, or towards whom you are cheating, or towards whom you are feeling that envy. So those Namapadas will be in the Chaturthi Bhakti. So Chaturthi Bhakti usages are where? So when we saw Dadati, you are giving, anybody is giving. Giving action is happening, or sending action is happening, distribution is happening. So you use the Chaturthi Bhakti towards whom that action is happening. Then angry, is cheating, asuya or envying, towards whom these actions are happening. So you use the Chaturthi Bhakti for those Namapada. Understood? Then till here it is clear. Nirthanaha Dhanikaya Asuyati. So Sujata, I mean, you want to try some other example with asuyati or asuya, asuyami? Any? Or Rita, Bhagini?
Gnaninaha Ajnanaya Kupyati. No, asuyati. Ajnanaya no, asuyati. No, Mahodaya.
Okay, but that's okay. So Pandita.
Panditaha Panditaha Ajnanaya asuyati.
So they envy the ignorance.
Ignorance.
That's fine. Okay.
Thank you.
So Drishyati. Anyone want to try one example of Drishyati? Cheating.
Dhanikaya Janena Duhyati. Janaya, right?
Dhanikah Janaya Drishyati? Okay. Uttamam. Pachar Mahoday.
Yes, so it was Choram Dhanikaya Druhati.
Choraha.
Dhanikaya.
Druhyati. Choraha Dhanikaya Druhyati. So now,
one question, Mahodaya. Is it Drushyati or Drukhyati?
Drihya.
Okay.
D-R-U-H-Y. Drishyati.
Okay. Thank you.
Now, next sentence, number 7, is a special case here. Mahyam, instead of Mahyam, let's use some other. Mahyam is the Chaturthi Vibhakti of Aham. It's for me, to me. We can use any other Chaturthi Vibhakti there, like Balakaya or Umayai Chaturthi. So we are looking at the Chaturthi Vibhakti here. So I want to say boy likes sweet. So how do you want to say that in Sanskrit?
Balakaya Madhuram Rochate.
Balakaya. But if you try to literally translate it from English to Sanskrit, then it becomes messy. Balaka, boy likes sweet. So in boy likes sweet, which is the subject word, which is the kriya pada in the English sentence, which is the subject, which is the object, which is the verb.
Boy is the subject, likes is the verb, and sweet is the object.
Right. Now in Sanskritam, when we translate that, it can be translated like that, but the usage of liking is in a different way, is expressed in a different way here. When we say Balakaya Madhuram Rochate, Balakaya Madhuram Rochate. Which is the Kriyapadam here?
Rochate.
Now this is a different, slightly different, it looks different, like it is not any in T, like patati, gacchati, kridati, kutyati, asuyati, drihyati. We have been saying this, all these words, all the kriyapadas in ti ending now. This one is different, rochate, which is a different form. We are taking this example because this is very common. We want to use this because everywhere now liking is very common. Like I like this, I like you, I like you, like me. So this we want to use this like word in Sanskritam or express that like feeling in Sanskritam. So this rochate is being taken, which is commonly used in Sanskritam also, but its form is different. Rochate. So we don't need to look at all the forms of rocha like patati, patata, patanti, etc. But just the singular ekavachana form of prathama purusha. Like if you look at this here, prathama purusha ekavachana, here it is patati. But similarly, if you take this one, this falls into this cell here, prathama purusha ekavachana, but its form is different. So there are many kriyapadas which take a different form in Sanskritam. If anybody is interested, they can look up the word vanda here, vanda, which takes a similar form like rochate. But that's not the subject of our study now. So we are just studying the usage. Usage here. Balakaha, a simple usage which we want to start using it in our probably everyday conversation. So when you say I like something or boy likes something, so how do we say that in Sanskrit? So let's say madhura rochate. Rochate is the word we want to use. But balakaya madhuram rochate. In this, now look at this sentence. Now, what is rochate is the kriyapadam, but what is the kartrupadam here?
Balaka.
Huh?
Balaka.
Padam includes visarga.
Balakaha. Balakaha.
Sorry, not visarga. Padam includes the actual full vibhakti with the vibhakti, right? It could be in any vibhakti, not only pratipadikam. So in this case, what is the kartrupadam? Balaka. Huh?
Balaka.
No, full with vibhakti. I don't see balaka here in the sentence here. Do you see balaka?
Balakaya.
Balakaya. So, but so far we know that a kartrupadam, if it is a kartrupadam in a vakyam in Sanskritam, what should be the vibhakti we have studied?
Prathama vibhakti.
Prathama. So where is the prathama? The balaka is not in prathama here. What is the vibhakti of balaka here?
Balakaya. Tritiya vibhakti.
Chaturthi.
Chaturthi, like choraya.
Choraya.
That is our subject of study now. Topic is Chaturthi Vibhakti. That's why we are taking up this sentence. Balakaya Chaturthi.
Chaturthi.
So, does that mean Kartrupadam can be in Chaturthi Vibhakti? Yes or no?
It seems so.
Seems so, yeah. Correct. But that is not the case here. The Kartrupadam has to be in the Prathama Vibhakti. So here, this Balaka is in Chaturthi Vibhakti, meaning that it is not Kartrupadam. Let me give one more example with Rochati, because here it will be maybe confusing. So, Balakaya. No, it's a krida. Means play. Krida, rochate. Now this is kriya padam, vartamana kala, prathama purusha ekavachanam, like patati, like that, rochate. Now, here, what is the, let's like, this is the chaturthi vibhakti, fourth. And what is the vibhakti of krida?
Is it prathama now here?
Prathama, right? Like Oma, Rama, etc. Prathama vibhakti. So we know that the word in the Nama Padam in the Prathama vibhakti is the Kartru Padam. So here, what is the Kartru Padam?
So is it krida now?
Yeah, krida. Krida is the Kartru Padam. So krida rochate is the main vakyam here. Main sentence is krida rochate. So what is doing the action here? Rochate is the action here, verb. So what is performing the action? Krida. Kartrupadam has to perform the action. Like Balaka patati, that patati is the kriya padam. Reading is the action. Who is doing the action? Balakaha, because it is the Prathama vibhakti. Now here krida is the Prathama here. The krida is doing the action of rochate. That means rochate is not like. In English, we use the like, right? Like I like, or for example, in this case, boy likes playing. Boy likes playing. So in that case, boy is doing the action of liking. And liking what? Playing. Yeah. So, but in this, when we want to express that in Sanskritam, that comes in a different way. Rochate is, you can think of it like pleasing. Like krida, rochate, means playing or play is pleasing, yeah, not liking, yeah, something like this. Play is pleasing. Now balakaya, for whom? For the boy, for or to, whatever. Now does this make sense? Rajal Mahade?
Excuse me, sir. Could it be used? Is there something like past participant in Sanskrit that we can use with the verb karoti, for example? Like balakaha krida is like I don't know what is, for example, would be the rochate past participle.
Past participle.
Yeah.
Hang on. So hold on. So I'll come back to that. So what is Prajwal?
Yeah. So in the first sentence, is this Madhuram now Dvitiya Vibhakti or Prathama Vibhakti?
Prathama.
Okay, that is also Prathama. So okay, yeah, it makes sense, but I need to still somewhat think about it. But it seems like it is somehow like this passive voice or something.
Huh? No, not passive voice. Yeah, this is not passive voice. It is active voice only. So rochate is active voice, and note that rochate is akarmaka. This is not karma. Kim rochate na. There is no rochate. Kim rochate na. Is pleasing. It is pleasing. It is pleasing. It is pleasing somebody. Pleasing for somebody. Pleasing for somebody. So rochate, krida rochate. Krida is the one which is pleasing somebody. Think of it. So your madhuram is like some snack, sweet snack, right? Laddu or somebody, like sweet snack. That sweet snack is pleasing for this balaka. So, madhuram balakaya rochate. So you can put this madhuram in the beginning. So then it becomes like a kartrupadam. Right? Usually that is the order. If you put that in that order, Kartrupadam first, then other words in between, and the Kriyapadam at the end, then usually that is the order we understand. So, Madhuram Balakaya Rochate, then it becomes Madhuram is like a Kartrupadam. Similarly, Krida, if you bring it at the beginning, Krida Balakaya Rochate.
Okay, now it makes sense, but still, I need to think about it. But yes.
Now, any other question before we move to past participle?
So if we say aham devam, I guess pujate is the word, but if I say devam rochate, deva is the is in the dvitiya, or that's
No,
Madhuram here is not in dvitiya. That's what you are saying, right? Madhuram is the Pradhama Vibhakti.
Napunsakalinga Prathama.
Napunsakalingam, yeah.
Phalam, you can use Phalam Balakaya Rochate.
Balakaya Rochate, okay.
So what is your full sentence for Deva in English?
I like, if I say I like God.
Okay, I like God.
Yeah, I like God.
Good.
So, aham, right?
No, so you think like that, like here. So what is happening here? Krida Balakaya Rochate. So Krida is the one which is being liked by Balaka. So in your case in English, you are saying that I like God. So God is being liked. So what is being liked? We put it in the Prathama Vibhakti.
Like, okay, like
God, Deva. So Deva, you put that in the Prathama Vibhakti.
Devaha.
Devaha. And is liked by whom?
By me, Mahyam.
That you put in Chaturthi. Mahyam.
Maya.
Mahyam.
Rochate. Okay.
So that means God is pleasing for me, or God is likeable for me. Don't say by me, because then it will again becomes Tritiya or something. So pleasing is better, I think.
Okay. Dhanyavad.
Yeah, Pune, I didn't understand. Like, why are you bringing this past participle here?
Sir, because in some languages there are some combined verbs, like even I realize in Sanskrit also they are there, but I am not enough. I don't have enough knowledge. I don't have any examples in my mind now to explain what I mean. But there are some things that you can add to the verbs, auxiliary verbs, like having or doing, and making new verbs with them. This is in my mind. Like if I want to say balakaha, krida, the past participle, for example, of this verb plus karoti. Just an.
Yeah, and I think I'm getting what you're trying to say. Maybe a different example may be better, I think. Past participles are there, yes, they are in Sanskritam, like gataha, kritaha, avagataha, like that. But yeah, they are there, but they can be used. But yeah, we can study that later.
Yes.
No. Other thing is, for example, here we can say ba. You can put in a different way, right? This balakaya krida rochate. This is like we are trying to make that English sentence into Sanskrit. I like something, or boy likes something. But it is also possible to express that in the same different way. Like a boy has interest in the play. Right? Boy has interest in the play, or boy has a taste in the play. Taste is an interest only. So in Sanskritam also we can put it like balakasya ruchihi. Ruchi is a taste. Ruchi, taste or interest. It doesn't have to be like physical taste. Taste is actually interest. So, or inclination. Right? So balakasya ruchihi. Then it comes in the saptami, in the play. So if you know the saptami which we'll study next, so you can put that here. Balakasya ruchihi kridayam asti. Maybe I think that's where you're trying to say in some other way. Now, the next example here is Devaya Namaha. Now, this is another special usage of Chaturthi Bhakti. Okay. We'll be able to finish only Chaturthi today. I thought I'll be able to cover more, but no issue. So here, Devaya Namaha is again a special usage. Here, Namaha is the word. And what is the Kriyapadam in this sentence? Do you see any Kriyapadam?
No.
No Kriyapadam. So you can assume any Kriyapadam if you want to. It is not necessary, like Devaya Namaha, Astu, Bhavatu. Like, you already know those forms like Bhavatu, Astu, like Gachatu, Patatu, like that. Astu. Let it be. So Devaya Namaha, just like nothing is necessary here. So that means salutation to God. So this Namaha is actually an avyayam. Namaha. Here. So this is a special case here. Means when there is Namaha used and toward what you are saluting, to whom you are saluting, that word has to be in Chaturthi Bhakti. Devaya Namaha, like Ramaya Namaha. Similarly, you can use any like Umayaya Namaha. If it is Guru, then you can use Chaturthi Bhakti of Guru. We saw that Gurave Namaha, which is famous, right? Gurave Namaha.
So is there no Kartri Pada in this sentence now?
Kartru Padam is not there. So whoever is saluting, he becomes the Kartru. If you are saluting, then he becomes Kartru. Karta. Devaya Namaha. Actually, Namaha could be assumed as the Kartru Padam, because Namaha, if you say Astu, Devaya Namaha, Astu. Astu means let it be. What let it be? Namaha Astu. So this can be thought of as a Kartru Padam. Devaya Namaha Astu. But important thing to know that literally when this Namaha word is there, the rule is that Chaturthi Bhakti has to be used with that to whom the salutation is being offered. So the salutation is being offered. Devaya. So some more examples here with the Chaturthi Bhakti, which we kind of already know where to look for that here, right? In this Balakaya, Bahuvachanam is Balakebhyaha. So if it is Putra, so Bahuvachanam becomes what? Putraya becomes Bahuvachanam. Ritabhini. What does it become? Chaturthi? Ritabhini. Subhashriving.
Putra, sir?
Huh?
Putra? Did you ask for Putra?
Putra. Bahuvachanam. chaturthi bhavachanam?
Balakebhya. Putrebhya.
Putrebhya. So similarly we have for kavi we have ekavachanam chaturthi kavaye becomes kavibhya. So if it is hari it becomes ekavachanam becomes
Haribhya.
ekavachanam
Haraye.
Haraye namaha. In many shlokas you come across Haraye namaha. Gurave is the base word is Guru. Chaturthi ekavachanam is Gurave, Gurabhyaha. Similarly we have other example for Ukaranta, Guru. What are the other?
Vishnu.
Vishnu.
Vishnuvaya.
Chaturthi ekavachanam becomes
Vishnuvaya.
Vishnave.
Vishnave. There is no U there. Vishnave, not Vishnuve.
Vishnave.
Vishnave. Then Vishnubhyaha. Pitru ekavachana pitre bhavachanam pitrubhyaha. Then Bhavan Shabda we know that Bhavan means you. In ekavachanam means Bhavate. Bhavate namaha, Bhavadbhyaha namaha. Then in Strilinga side we have this examples. Balika Vyorisa, Uma Umayai, Balikayai, Ramayai, etc. Then Yuvati, like we have this Yuvatai, Yuvataye. Both the forms are valid. And Bhavachanam Yuvatibhyaha. Dhenu, Dhenvai, Dhenavai, both are valid. Dhenubhyaha. Matru becomes Matre, Matre namaha, Matrubhyaha namaha. Bhavatyai, Strilinga, like Nadi Shabda. They like Nadi only, there's no difference. Sakhi, Nadi. Bhavatyai, Pustakam Dadami, etc. And Bhavatibhyaha namami, etc. Then, not namami, sorry, namaha. Bhavatibhyaha namaha. Now, one more thing before we close. Now, we know that namaha, when we use namaha, we need to use chaturthi bhakti form. For example, we know sarvebhyaha namaha. Sarva is the pada, sarva. That chaturthi bhakti bhavachan becomes sarvebhyaha. Like balakebhyaha, sarvebhyaha namaha. Similarly, here namaha te. In this also there are two words, namaha plus te. This te is the chaturthi bhakti form of tvam, means you. So we have namaha plus te becomes namaste with the sandhi here. This becomes sa, it turns into sa, and together becomes namaste. So namaste means salutation to you, one person. So if there are many people in Sanskrit, it is not right to say namaste. In Hindi, etc., namaste becomes a common word for everybody, everything. But in Sanskrit, it's singular, namahate.
What is plural from? Namaste.
So here you can use, if you want to use you can use bhavadbhyaha, namaha bhavadbhyaha. You can use bhavate for singular in case te. But if you want to use the plural of tvam, then you have to look up the table. What is the plural of tvam? So I'll just show you what is the plural of tvam here. If you want to look up, the root base word is yushmad for tvam. So you look up here. So it is say here chaturthi. Shivashivi, chaturthi.
The plural is, if there are two, it's yuvabhyam.
Bahuvachanam.
Yeah, and bahuvachanam is Yushmabhyam Vaha.
So these are alternate forms. You can either use either one, like Yushmabhyam or Vaha. Here also there are two, in the Ekavachan also the two, Namaha Te or Namaha Tubhyam. Namastubhyam, Namastubhyam, you might see in the shloka, right? Namastubhyam. Namastubhyam is one word, Namastu is another one, or Namaha Yushmabhyam, Namaha Vaha. These are Bahuvachana forms. Okay. Then, but here, this is what I have shown here. In Sarvebhya Namaste, Namaste itself is singular, so don't use the Bahuvachana word like Sarvebhya. You can use Sarvebhya Namaha only, or Yushmabhya, like we saw that Yushmabhya Namaha. But another confusion is the Namaskara. Namaskara and Namaha, they are different in Sanskritam. Namaskara and Namaha. So when we say when there is a Namaha, with that Chaturthi Vibhakti has to be used, which we saw already. But the same doesn't hold true with the Namaskara. When we use Namaskara, Chaturthi Vibhakti is not used. Okay. Namaskara, Sarvebhya Namaskara, many times you might hear, which is a wrong usage, incorrect usage. So, don't use Namaskara. Namaskara has a different meaning. Just use Namaha is enough. Don't use Namaskara. So if you want to use what should we use if you want to use Namaskara, that is a different question. So I'll send you a link. I have posted a blog. I posted an article on that same blog post here on Namaskara Namaha, which you can read later. But for now, you can just try avoid using Namaskara. Just stick with Namaha. So, any other question on Chaturthi Bhakti? There are some exercises here which you can do. They're simple, which you can do later. Any question on Chaturthi Bhakti? Or any other question, Pune?
No, sir. Thank you.
Sorry, I didn't. If I didn't answer your question about past participle completely, but I'll try to understand it next time what you're trying to say. You can just send me an email with an example what you're trying to question.
Yes, sir. Yes, I will. Thank you.
अस्तु धन्यवादः नमस्कारः पुनर्मिलामः
धन्यवादः नमस्ते